Today's Wednesday, February 14th, 2018. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
You're tuned in to the Elevator Radio Show, a weekly program dedicated to covering news and information on elevators, escalators, and moving walkways. Produced in the wee hours of the morning, a new show is uploaded every Wednesday, sometimes even before you get out of bed. Listen to some of the comments sent in from our audience.
Rob from New York writes, Tom, are you f***ing insane? You actually get up at 2 a.m. each Wednesday to put this show out? Man, you must love elevators. Tim from Illinois writes, I'm not sure why I listened, but ever since I tuned into the first show back in 2007, I've been addicted. Matt in Texas writes, I like your safety messages, Tom. It's important to remember them each and every day. And he also adds, when am I going to win the monthly prize pack giveaway? Ron from California sent this in. Despite your inability to pronounce words in the English language, I tune in each week and am glad that you offer this service to the industry. It's better than Google News alerts. Sarah from Washington writes, love the show, Tom, and look forward to it each week. I'm glad I signed up for the newsletter. You provide a valuable resource for the industry, not only for North America, but worldwide.
Enjoy the show. And now, here's your sleep-deprived host, Tom Seibert.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, right? Right, yeah, I'm a little bit discombobulated this morning. Microsoft seems to have strangled the internet with their updates, their Tuesday or Wednesday morning updates. So if you found your computer on this morning with a login screen or whatever, it means that they've just uploaded a whole bunch of stuff to fix stuff that they think needs fixing. So anyway, but had issues with drivers not working. I lost one of my cameras. Not that it's the end of the world, but then the sound wasn't working. But got it fixed. Took about half an hour, got it fixed. I want to thank everybody out there who had thought or kept my mom in your thoughts this last week. I don't typically post personal stuff on Facebook, but I did send a post out last week just asking friends and family to keep my mom in their thoughts and their prayers. And immediately after I had done that, within I don't know, 5-6 hours, she was feeling much better. So power of the people, power of you, and I'm grateful. Typically, I just, when personal stuff like that, I don't like to make that public for many reasons, but I just felt as if it was an important time to try to reach out to some families, extended family, who may not have known she was in the hospital. But I was kind of blown away by so many out there of you who had contacted me via email, who had sent text messages, also Facebook posts to what I had posted originally. I want to say thank you. She's home. She's feeling much better. She's weak, but she's going to be okay. So again, thank you. It meant a lot to me to see that kind of outpouring of support and love, and I'm truly grateful and appreciative of that. So those actions kind of renew my spirit in the human, or my faith in the human spirit in the mess that we call life today. So got a good show for you today. Before I forget, make sure you do not forget to take care of your loved ones, whether they be a grandson, granddaughter, a spouse, significant other. This is the day where you will pay over price for flowers, dinners, what else? Candy. And then tomorrow you'll be able to get all that for half price, except for the dinners. So make sure you don't forget your loved ones. And hopefully you have a nice Valentine's Day. Next week, there will be no show. I am headed to Tampa to attend the Elevator Escalator Safety Foundation annual general meeting. Looking forward to that. Unfortunately, with my mom and what she had been through, kind of threw a little wrench in some of the prep work, but we will be totally ready for the meeting. Looking forward to bringing you updates the following week. But I fly out Monday morning, come back Wednesday morning early to get back to work. So I'm not going to be able to get a show in time. Plus, when I attend these meetings, they are typically just, your head explodes from just everything that's talked about and the great ideas that are shared. So I'm excited about that. EESF is somewhat in a pivotal position, I think, in the direction they're going to head in the future. Have all the faith in the world in our next executive board to take it to that next level and to take it to where it needs to be. So I'm excited about that. So yeah, next week no show. Week after will be a show. So news will be next, and we'll have you out here in no time. So stay tuned. News is next.
Let this week's news stories give you a lift on what's happening in the vertical transportation arena. Each news segment is organically dug and fresh with news stories of the week. Got lift? If not, stay tuned.
Okay, first news article, Oracle Elevator announces completion of 4 acquisitions. They have been on target to grow. Business Wire, which is a PR marketing type firm, shared this press release. And if you didn't know it, there's lots of money out there in the world and investment companies, and these are the kind of investments that people with money and groups with money want to make. So it's a pretty significant acquisition in where they did gain market share. I think Elevator Texas. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but that's about it. In North Carolina, I'm sorry, that's it. So that's pretty significant. So they are on track, according to another news press release, to become a large player in the vertical transportation space. So typically, you'd only seen those kind of acquisitions from major elevator companies. And when you're talking about investment firms out there, typically their main goal is to maximize revenue, is to gain market share, and then turn over entities at some point, make even more market share. And the elevator industry is a pretty good part of that. Hey, anybody been watching the Olympics out there? I have, and I got to tell you, between the commercials drive me absolutely nuts. But I agree that I understand that they're part of it. But I'm always kind of an Olympic fan. When I was a kid, I always wanted to go to the Olympics. The Summer Olympics, so I would train and I would wanted to do track and field. So I would be get up early as a really little kid, do sit-ups. I'd hook my feet underneath the rolling cart that our TV was on, and that was back when you had you had 5 channels, and you had to get up to actually turn the channel, and it'd be like click, click, click. So anyway, but yeah, I've always been a kind of a fan of the Olympics. Unfortunately, my personal opinion is that they've somewhat been tarnished, just with allowing professionals into them, and kind of lost my respect a little bit to them. But anyway, here's this news article that was shared by the New York Post, which drives me kind of crazy, because the reality is this is not safe at all. I'm surprised this guy did not get hurt. But this is a video that Swiss freestyle skier Fabian Bosch showed his way of how he dangled from an escalator. He basically hangs onto the handrail of an up escalator on the outside. And I'm not going to watch it. I don't really want to give it any more PR than it's already received, because this is the #1 video that was online on the news aggregator, and it's unfortunate, because you're going to see now, because of this idiot, other people doing this, and I would have to say that they're probably not going to be as lucky in the outcome, because based on videos I've seen and reports that I've also seen, that typically any other person or fatalities do occur when from falls when things are like this happens. So do not do this. Do not promote it. It is dangerous as hell. And this guy should be... it's a shame that entities like the New York Post pick up on these video garbage in the hopes of attaching advertising onto viral marketing. And I even hate to share it, but the reality is that's why these get this kind of press, and it sucks. But this is the world we live in. Next news article, the RemiNetwork.com, which looks like it's a condo-type entity or news source. This is some information regarding the TSSA in Canada. They recently lifted the requirement to undertake certain upgrades of controls on single-speed elevators, but it doesn't necessarily mean the building owners who operate this equipment should abandon planned modernizations. And just so you know, there's lots of information online regarding this. In the United States, there's still quite a few single-speed elevator systems out there across the country, some of which date back to like the 1920s, 1930s, which is kind of crazy. The general gist of it here is that the concern was that single-speed elevators stop on the brake, so the chance of a tripping hazard is greater if the elevator doesn't get to the floor level or doesn't even out, because leveling can be an issue. The reality is that according to the reports, they found that maybe perhaps the incidence of these kind of accidents may not have been as significant as originally thought, but the recommendation is to, for long-term planning, is to definitely look at your elevators, your single-speed elevators, and upgrade controls so that you have VVF drives, you have leveling to avoid certain accidents. What I found interesting about this article, I don't mean to get long-winded on this, was that in the article, it's a pretty good article, they talk about, making sure that the building owner understands that it's their responsibility to assume full responsibility if there's an accident in the building. I'm thinking to myself, in the United States, it's whoever has an insurance policy. I don't think government can't be sued necessarily, depending on the situation. So, really interesting article. If you do have a single-speed elevator, it's a good idea to look if you're having issues with leveling. And the reality is that there are lots of factors that affect leveling, including the elevator speed, including the capacity of the elevator, whether or not it's making a run from floor 1 to the top landing. It needs more time to slow into the floor. So the reality is that it's a good idea to look at upgrades, but in some senses, these types of systems are going to be more reliable because there's less to them if they're old enough units. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm a pretty significant deal. I deal with single speed lifts a lot, and you're always going to have building owners who don't want to upgrade, who don't want to spend the money and want to just milk it as long as they can. And it's unfortunate because there are some landlords that are slum landlords on that same case and just wants to beat everybody up over price. And I don't really want to do business with people like that. But the reality is that there are means of repair replacement options for single speed elevators. But again, read the link in the notes there. SECA, the Canadian Elevator Contractors Association, also has some information that they share on their website. Encourage you to go over there and check that out. Okay, just as a reminder, please do not take dogs or cats on elevators or guide dogs. I didn't link up, but there's a video, actually a Los Angeles police. Yeah, I'm not going to get a chance to post this before the show goes live. But don't think about an escalator step. Never take a dog on an escalator step because they do not know how to ride an escalator. And even guide dogs. The next news article has something talking about an arrogant passenger demands guide dog move on an escalator. Who in their right mind, I mean, unless you do not know that, the person may be sight impaired, the reality is that just relax, buddy. I mean, anyway, it's unfortunate, but guide dogs shouldn't be on escalators either. Please use the elevator. Little paws, little fingers can get caught, and they do not necessarily know how to get off as quick as they should, if that makes sense. And I don't think there's any classes doing that. So yeah, no animals on escalators, no rats, no no dogs, no cats, no birds, no nothing. It's my advice. Please keep them off. And it'd be sad if we find a day that we need to put signs up indicating this. Okay, some pretty I don't know how to say this. Good news from ThyssenKrupp Elevator, thriving on steel and elevator sales. So I don't think this is anything that was out of the ordinary. But what's interesting in this article is they talk about just the reality that the elevator business of ThyssenKrupp is a pretty significant revenue generator, which I don't doubt. I think Unitech is the same or Otis is the same for Unitech. So just goes to show you that, the money that's being made in our industry is significant, and it's there. It's not going away. Okay, routers, and somebody correct me on that. Reuters. ThyssenKrupp not in talks with KONE over escalator business. CFO. I don't know why anybody would post something like this, but it's like saying, I don't know. I don't know why you'd post something like this if it's not true. Does anybody know? I don't know. Just don't really get it. That'd be a pretty significant move if the two of those join. Not that I'm saying they do that. Again, the article says that they are not. So I just was like, why post it if it's not true? Yeah. Anyway, Idaho State Journal, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean it like it's not even news, but it kind of ties in with the previous article. ISU student suffers minor injury in campus elevator that rapidly descended. Excuse me. Apparently, at the University of Idaho, students who were riding in a campus elevator that unexpectedly descended 5 floors on Sunday evening sustained a minor injury, according to school officials. So I don't know what minor injury is or necessarily what that entails, but or what the reason was behind that or what happened. Anyway, next news article, Ryerson had 71 elevator breakdowns. If you read this article, it's a little concerning. The first concerning part is the eye opener is the website, and it gives some interesting statistics. This is a university in in Canada. Excuse me. It takes an average of 43 minutes for responders to free someone in an elevator on campus. I think that's pretty good. And the concerning thing I read here, which maybe was taken out of context, I don't know, but the facilities manager, I forgot what the person's name is, said occupants in a stopped elevator are not in danger as long as they remain in the elevator car and they do not try to self-extract. That's huge. Okay, that's good. That is good. That's important. That was not the bad thing. That was the perfect thing. It's big too. The concerning thing was, which I wish wasn't said, I can't find it now. Okay, hold on. Let me see here. Okay, yeah. So Catherine Woodcock is registered engineer and professor at Ryerson in the undergraduate occupational health and safety program, where she teaches accident theory, safety evaluation, safety management systems. That's pretty cool. She explained that getting stuck in an elevator isn't always dangerous. It's never dangerous unless you're watching a movie and like Bruce Willis is on top of the car and then the terrorists are trying to like blow up the cables. Then it's dangerous. But the safest place you can be is in an elevator. It's not always dangerous. It's never dangerous. Anyway, and this is an expert in safety. But that other paragraph was good, so let's just hold on to that and stick to the good stuff. Next news article, man wants answers why leg got caught in escalators. This is channel CBS 2 News. Yeah, there should be some answers on why your foot got caught in an escalator after coming off of another injury of your foot from a previous incident. So, yeah, I don't mean to take away from anyone who gets injured on equipment, but at the end of the day, hey, put some cameras on escalators and maybe get a better idea, and we'll get the answers that we're looking for, because all the indications indicate that the escalator had been inspected. It was up to code. It had been maintained, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, it's must have been a slow news day for CBS Channel 2. People like this suck. QNS has some footage of a crook who roughed up and robs a teenager inside an elevator in Astoria High School. Yeah, you guys suck who do this, and all I can say is Dante's Inferno. Go enjoy yourself someday. I imagine that is where you're going if you were going to be like this and living on this earth with all of us. Next news article, loopnorth.com. Interesting post talking about a condo association told to pay elevator company despite numerous outages. Some condo associations feel like they are above the rules of legality, and in this situation, they were found false and required to pay for the contract that they got out of. And all I can say is, if you're looking to get out of a contract, and you should definitely get some significant documentation to do that in the form of an expert, so that some judge doesn't throw it out of court. That's my advice. And then also, but what sucks is the attorneys make money off of this, obviously, and then at the end of the day, I don't think anybody's happier. So And the last news article, Chicago Elevator Association March meeting date is set March 1st, 2018. Dinner 6:30, and the guest speaker will be Helios, which every time I hear that name, I always think it is part of The Incredibles. Helios was the machine. Incredibles was that cartoon, which Dash is, I always think, my son. Anyway, point is that I always think of that. Helios was the main machine that was built to take over the world and somewhat blow it up. Anyway, well, that's going to do it for the show, everybody. As always, thanks for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day, and it has been my absolute pleasure to bring it to you. Be safe out there. Spread safety. Share it with everybody you work with. Make sure that each and every one of you goes home every day to your loved ones so you can give your overpriced flowers to your spouse or significant other and chocolates. Take care. We will talk to you in 2 weeks, and thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.